Hi everyone, welcome back to the Dopey Diaries. Twas the night before Dopey, as I said, and literally it is the night before Dopey. This is going up before on Wednesday, January 4th. It was Expo Day. We'll get into that in a second. Tomorrow is the 5K, followed by the 10K, half and full marathons of Dopey. This is what we have been gearing up for since June, July of 2022, which is also Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to all you runner folks out there. Full disclosure, fell hard off of training. A lot of anxiety got in me about where I run and the amount of time it takes to run. And I know that sounds silly because obviously it's going to take whatever, but with my work schedule, it just became less and less a priority. So shame on me. Shame on me for being that, giving in to all of the excuses that I probably talked about in the last video. Wine and Dine came and went. It was a weekend. The races were fine. A lot of some personal stuff happened around it that caused a little bit of a retreat from a lot of things. And then the holidays, right? Thanksgiving, and then Christmas, and then New Year's, and now here we are at Dopey starting literally tomorrow, which is nuts. Today I went to the expo to, as always, you go to the expo, you get your bibs, you get your merch, you get all the stuff. Guys, it was nuts. If you were there, it was crazy. They did a virtual queue. Now, thankfully, I will say this. I don't know how I pulled it off. I don't know what gods are on my side, but I got group 8. At 8:30 this morning, you had to go on to My Disney Experience and do a virtual queue like you would for like a ride or something. And I got group 8. And I was actually called at 9:45 and then let in at 10 o'clock. For all intents purposes, I could have and should have been in and out of merch in like a half hour, tops. But, and if you've done this before, you know, you collect all the things that you think you want, right? And then you sit down and you weed through, and then you scan them all into your mobile checkout, and you look at the price, and then you have a heart attack, and then while they're resuscitating you, you realize that like maybe I don't need all of this stuff, and you start to really pick and choose. That's kind of what happened. I got to a point where I was like, okay, I think that price is okay. Yeah. And then a friend messaged me and she said, I'm number this. Can you wait? And I was like, sure. So I spent 2 hours in. That was a demeaning. I was like, sure, yeah, I have nothing else to do. That's fine. Because in the meantime, the line for bibs was insane. So I figured the longer I sit in the merch and just wait it out, then it'll be fine. So that was Expo. So I got the merch that I wanted. I got the White Spirit jersey. I got all the pins. Somehow I missed the Goofy Challenge pin. I don't know how or why, but it's fine. I got the pass holder pin and t-shirt and the ornament, and that's all I wanted. And that's kind of all I wanted from like the get-go. I was like, these are the things I want, and I'm good. Because you get all of these shirts just for running. So you're like, well, I don't need, the last thing I need in my life is another t-shirt or shirt of any kind, and yet I bought 2. Pins are great because you pop it on a board, and there you go. There's your memory. There's your memento. I also don't need any more cups, thankfully. I don't drink coffee, so I didn't need the mug. The corksicle was fine, and there's no wine glass. Now, if there happens to be a wine glass later somewhere, we'll see what happens. But yeah, so then you go into bibs, and I picked them a bit. Thankfully, again, in a smart move, they had all the Dopey Challenge bibs in a separate room with shirt pickup without going into the expo. But because of that, I had no need to go into the expo, so I didn't even make it into the expo floor where there's Fit to Run. And for the record, I'm resting this on my leg, so if it's shaky, it's because I'm literally holding it because my tripod broke. I was gonna be all, fancy and whatnot, and it broke. Anyway, so yeah, I picked up bibs, picked up shirts, and then went to go to Expo, and there was a line for Expo because everyone else who wasn't Dopey, who was picking up their shirts, it was Look, huge shout out to the Run Disney team and the ESPN Wide World of Sports team. You did an amazing job with the crazy task that was put upon you. I am, the virtual queue worked well for Wine and Dine because there were less people. Someone asked me, like, why do you think this is? And I was like, well, I'm kind of new around this, but like, just knowing theme park mentality, the whole purpose of a Lightning Lane or a Genie Plus virtual queue is you're displacing people, right? So you have a return time for your virtual queue, which means I can do other things. So anybody who was waiting for their virtual queue to be called, who still showed up on time, had a couple things to do. They had to they could go to the expo. They could go pick up their bib. They could meander about and connect with all of their Run Disney family, friends, and community, which is exactly what people were doing, and actually allowed, now I was done by the time this happened, but allowed me to connect and meet up with some people who I didn't expect to see, which was a huge, like, for me, that was the shining moment of my day, is being able to say hi and reconnect with some people that I haven't been able to in a while, as well as see some other people. I'm like, oh, I know you. We're not real friends, but like, I know, which was fun. So yeah, 5K tomorrow. It is, I don't even know what time it is. It is 6:30-ish, which means I need to be in bed in about an hour and a half. 2 o'clock wake up call, 3 o'clock, park at 2:30, get there by 3, get the pictures done, hang around until it starts, and then 5K, and then we should be done within an hour and a half or so. And then I am shifting into a small racecation? Disney racecation. Is that a thing? And at the Swan. So I'll be over at the Swan for the rest of the race weekend, which would be great because I won't have to be here at the house with my mom and Chris, and I won't wake them up. And they're literally going to bed when I'm getting up for these things. So it'll be nice to have my own sort of space and whatnot. So I've been packing, and I just realized that, like, actually right before I got on here, I realized that with all the shirts that I got today, I don't need to pack any of my own actual clothes. I just throw the new shirts in the suitcase, make sure I have my race stuff, and that's the packing. That's what that is. So I have to say, someone today was very kind and told me that these. So I try so hard not to cry on these anymore. Someone was very kind and said that I was very inspirational, and I had a hard time accepting that. So thank you. You know who you are if you're watching, which I'm sure you are. It was super kind because I don't feel that way. I don't feel that way a lot of the time, and to have someone that you have met through this community and very briefly, and you have brief interactions with, just sort of say, good for you, you're going on it. And, friends and family have been the same, but those people who just sort of pop out of nowhere and say sweet things is very kind. So thank you so much. We have 3 race weekends to go, guys. This is maybe road to Dopey, but we're not done with this season. We got the Dopey, and then Princess, and then Springtime, and then I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know if I continue on this journey. Definitely not for financial reasons. Definitely not every weekend, every year, all the time, or every race for every weekend. But they did announce Disneyland. They announced Disneyland for 2024, and I do love me some Disneyland. So, but yeah, so that is the update. There's probably a bigger, deeper video I could put out. Maybe when Dopey's all over, it'll be a nice lengthy one. But for this, this is probably 10 minutes long. That's too long. But with all that being said, I want to thank everyone so much for all of your kind words, all of your support. Anyone who has donated to the Kelsey's Hope Foundation campaign that I ran for Wine and Dine and for this, greatly appreciate it. Literally would not be able to do this without you. So thank you beyond words. Thank you. If you're seeing this before the races begin, I will probably be at the main stage every morning come say hi. So yeah, Dopey is here. We're doing it. We are daring to Dopey. Sorry, just had a reflective moment of like, whew, everything that's led up to this. The fact that like a year ago I was only doing the 10K of this weekend. If we go back to November of 22, that was a year since my first Disney race. First time I was like, I'm gonna be a runner. So the fact that I have put myself in a position to run 48.6 miles is pretty dopey. So I'm gonna, yeah, I guess I just keep hearing Dare to Dopey, and here we are. So guys, thank you so much for your time and attention. Like, comment, subscribe, all those YouTube things. It's an absolute pleasure to be here for you as we continue into 2023 with more races and being around Disney. Lots of stuff to come. I'm not making any verbal commitments because I know I will fall off that wagon. But excuse me, I will say I'm very excited as we head into the new year for all the possibilities. It is a good day to have a good day. We will see you next time.